Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to the channel once again for a new reacting to a random article type video. I made a video about Rolling Stones' 100 greatest metal songs of all time, like a while ago, like when that article first came out. And I thought it was a pretty good video. You know, I enjoyed going through that list and definitely had some opinions. And so when I saw that Forbes released a article of the 38 greatest heavy metal bands, you know, your boy had to get on that. So yeah, I have not read this article. I don't know who is on it. I've seen hints at who might be on it, but you know, I'm hoping that there's not I'm hoping it's not like Rolling Stones where they'll put like, I don't know, fucking like Jimi Hendrix or something in there. I hope it's not like that. But and I hope they don't do like some silly like they do like Ozzy Osbourne solo and Black Sabbath, or like, because like obviously, you know, Black Sabbath is going to be on this list. I would be shocked if they weren't. But and we're going to scroll through this article on Forbes and get absolutely bombarded with ads because reading the news is horrible. Let's close that out. Let's read this out. Since it was established in the early 1970s, heavy metal has long stood as one of the most popular alternative cultures in contemporary music. Throughout the genre's existence, I don't feel like reading actually this whole thing. Yeah, it's an introduction. Skimming through it. Top metal bands. Okay, you can pause this all to read it if you'd like. 38 is Carcass. Okay. I did hear that there were going to be some like actual extreme metal bands on here, so I'm seeing Carcass already at number 38 is already like a good sign of things. I like Carcass. I'm not crazy about them. I think they're good. I mean, I personally like their more melodic death metal stuff earlier than like their earlier like gore grind stuff. Like, obviously, I think Heartwork is awesome, and even their newest albums, I think, are really, really good. Surgical Steel and Torn Arteries. I really like Torn Arteries. I need to listen to that album again. It's been a long time since I've heard it. But, yeah, I'm cool with Carcass being on this list. 37, At the Gates. Okay. I'm cool with that. That makes sense. Slaughter the Soul is a fantastic album. And even their newer stuff, too, is really good. I'm going to try not to say that for all the old death metal bands and stuff like that. They're like, oh yeah, great album, but also the new stuff is good. I'm going to try not to say that every time. But yeah, I'm cool with At the Gates being on it. Exodus 36. Okay. See, we're getting to a good start. I'm cool with this. I'm actually seeing Exodus in a little, like a month and a half, and I'm really excited because I've never seen them before. So, yeah, super. Behemoth at 35. See, I was teased that Behemoth was going to be on the list, and you know, I didn't want to see for certain though. I'm glad they're on the list. They're my favorite extreme metal band. I absolutely love them. But yeah, 35 I'd say maybe a little low, but for overall greatest metal bands, I mean 35. The fact that they're even in like the top 50, I think is a good sign. Napalm Death of 34. I'm not too crazy about grindcore, but I'm cool with Napalm Death being on the list, though. Like they're obviously an iconic band. Caius, number 33. I've actually never listened to Caius before. Only thing I know about them is that, you know, Josh Homme is in the band, and he's the Queens of the Stone Age guy. I know that, but I never really listened to Caius. So I don't really have much to add on it. Dream Theater, number 32. Okay. Cool with that. Not my favorite prog band, but they are good. They're at least, you know, some of the most talented metal musicians on the world, I would say. Nightwish, number 31. Now, this might be a crazy take, but I've never really got super duper into Nightwish. I never really gave them much of a chance. I did save the new album, though, on my Spotify, so I will have to check it out, but yeah. I mean, I know people absolutely love Nightwish, so I know people go crazy for them, so It's cool. King Diamond number 30. Alright, I'm cool with that. I like it. Kim Bendix Peterson. I did not know that that was his real name. I did not know that. That's cool. Danzig number 29. Okay. I only know like the super popular songs from Danzig off that first like album. But that's really all I know about Danzig. And of course obviously I know Misfits stuff, but Converge 28. Converge is also another band that I know people love, but I also never really listened to much from. So I have no idea. I have no real opinion on them, but I know they're a very popular metalcore band, at least from like early days of metalcore. Cannibal Corpse number 27. Cool. I like Cannibal Corpse a lot, so I'm fine with this. This is another band where I vastly prefer the newer material over their 90s output, even though the Bleeding and Bloodthirst are pretty solid albums. And Gallery of Suicide 2 has some bangers on it. Anthrax number 26. Alright. My least favorite out of the big four, but I mean, they are still good band. They're obviously very important for the development of thrash. So you gotta put some respect on Anthrax's name. And they're also pretty fun live. I saw them back in 2018 with Slayer. And yeah, I need to see them again. Meshuggah number 25. Yes. Meshuggah's awesome. They're a great band. Standing is quite possibly the heaviest band to ever exist. You're goddamn right. Machine Head 24. Yeah, I'm cool with it. I like Machine Head a lot. I also really like Rob Flynn's shirt in this picture. They're definitely like, I feel like the whole like wave of 2000s, like new wave American heavy metal, is like super underrated, and Machine Head are kind of like the most popular example of that. Even though I know that Machine Head like headline festivals and stuff like that, but it's like they'll headline like Wacken and stuff like that. But you know. Lamb of God 2023, that's too low. Lamb of God's one of my personal favorite bands ever, so, you know, gotta take that with a grain of salt. I think 23 is too low. They're in my personal top 10, but, I mean, I think they're fucking amazing, and they're one of my favorite bands to see live. They always bring it, especially, I saw them on the Ashes of the Leviathan tour with Mastodon, and hearing some of those songs from Ashes of the Wake live was such a cool experience. So, because like obviously I've heard them play like Laid to Rest and all that stuff every time I've seen them, but would you look at here, Mastodon number 22. I would swap the two. I prefer Lamb of God to Mastodon, but they're also not really super comparable. But yeah, Mastodon's really awesome. I love them. I gained a lot more appreciation for them seeing them on that Ashes of the Leviathan tour, because I'd never seen them before up to that point. And so it'll be kind of weird because they played Leviathan in full. So Blood and Thunder was the first song. They played it right in album order, so it'll be weird the next time I go see Mastodon, and Blood and Thunder will probably be the final song on the set list, or at least one of the last songs they play. So that'd be interesting. Sepultura 21. I'm cool with that. I mean, I'm not a crazy, super duper crazy huge Sepultura fan, but I think that's just mostly because the era with the stuff with Derek Green is really inconsistent. I think the newer stuff is really awesome, like Quadra and Machine Messiah are really good albums, but you know, it's they're I mean, obviously Chaos AD is like one of the best metal albums ever made, so it's like, and Arise too. Typo Negative number 20. That is a take. I'm not a super crazy huge Typo Negative fan. I like them, but I don't know about number 20. Over Mastodon and Lamb of God and Meshuggah and Cannibal Corpse, I don't know about that, personally. Motorhead at 19. I thought they'd be a lot higher. I thought they would be in like the top 5. But yeah. I mean, obviously Lemmy is God, so Yeah, I'm cool with that. Death at number 18. Wow, actually, Death higher than Motorhead. That is something. I was not expecting that. I mean, I agree with it. I do prefer Death to Motorhead, but they're also not really like comparable. But yeah, Death is awesome. They're a really great band. Obviously, Symbolic and Sign of Perseverance are two of my personal favorites of theirs. But obviously, they have bangers on all their albums, so I'm cool with it. Dio at 17. I'm surprised. Actually, I'm surprised Dio's this low. I thought Dio would be in the top 5 or at least in the top 10. It is interesting. He is quite possibly the most, I wouldn't say the most iconic, probably one of the best. Megadeth at 16. I thought Megadeth would just be a little bit higher, but I'm cool with it. I love Megadeth. I've seen them twice. They're really awesome. I actually got to see them twice before Kiko Loureiro left the band, so I'm happy about that. Though, of course, I wish Marty would rejoin, like, every Megadeth fan in existence who likes Marty. Gojira at number 15. I am completely okay with this. I love Gojira. They would be... I don't know if they'd be in my personal top 10, but they'd be pretty high up there. They'd be at least in the top 15 for me, so I'm cool with this. Fun little drinking game. Take a shot how many times I say I'm cool with this, and you'll probably die, so don't do that, actually. Joe Duplantier, Gojira performing live at the Unipol Arena, opening the Alter Bridge concert. I didn't know Gojira and Alter Bridge played together. That is an interesting lineup, but if it's in Europe, that makes sense, because Alter Bridge is super popular in Europe. Korn at number 14. Alright. I'm fine with this. I love nu metal. So, obviously, Korn were one of the biggest nu metal bands of all time, so, like that. Rammstein at 13. I like Rammstein. I'm not crazy about them. I think they are really good, but it always surprises me just how popular Rammstein are. Because, like, I never would have thought of them as a band that could sell out stadiums, but they sell out stadiums. It's crazy. Like, people absolutely love them. But I think it's warranted. Deftones at 12. I should have figured that Deftones would have been pretty high up on this list if they were even on it. With the recent, like, kind of blow up that Deftones has had. I mean, they've always been a popular band, but, like, they're really popular now. And it's kind of interesting. System of a Down, 11. I get it. I get why they're here. I'm fine with them being here. But above Lamb of God, above Mastodon, above Meshuggah, above Gojira. I was going to say Ghost for a second, but Ghost I don't think is going to be on this list. I think there should be, though. I love Ghost. No Slipknot either. No Avenged Sevenfold, no In Flames, no Amon Amarth. I feel those bands aren't going to be on the list. Slipknot might actually be on the list. They might be the next band. I'm just being silly. System of a Down. Okay, Avenged Sevenfold. Avenged Sevenfold in the top 10. I agree, because they're in my top 5, but I was not expecting to see them here, actually, so I like it. Even if their newest album isn't their best. Tool at number 9. I should have figured that Tool would have been on that list. At number 9, though, that is a take. I mean, I love Tool, but I don't know if 9th greatest metal band of all time is worthy enough for them. But they're a band I really need to see live. Slayer at number 8. I feel like Slayer should be in the top 5. But my guess is that the top 5 is going to be Metallica, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Black Sabbath, and Ozzy. That's my guess, though. I don't really know. I have no idea. So if I'm right, you can go in the comments and say how I looked at the article before, but I didn't. Slayer at number 8. I think they should be in the top 10, but I think they should be higher up in the top 10, personally. But, yeah, obviously I love Slayer. Slipknot number 7. Okay, I was worried that Slipknot wasn't going to be on this list, personally, because Slipknot's my second favorite band of all time. I absolutely adore them. So, but I'm surprised that they're this high up. Actually, I thought they would have been around where Korn and Deftones were. But I wonder what they say about Slipknot. Yeah, say their first three. I love how they don't mention anything past Volume 3. Although I do think that the first 3 records cement them as like one of the best to ever do it, personally. Even their newer shit's really good. I really like the end so far. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I got it when I listened to it on vinyl, because I needed it to complete the collection. I was like, something's actually pretty good. I like it a lot. Ozzy Osbourne at number 6. I figured Ozzy would be on the list. I'm surprised he's not in the top 5, though. I'm surprised he's not like number 2 or 3. But Black Sabbath is probably going to be number 1, because why would they not be? It'd be either Ozzy Osbourne or not Ozzy. It'd either be Black Sabbath or Metallica or Iron Maiden. It's my guess. Judas Priest in the top 5. Okay, I kind of figured Judas Priest would be up this high. There's a spelling error. That's kind of funny. Okay, they corrected it in that one. I was gonna say Firepower and Invincible Shield are really good albums. Number 4, yes, Pantera. Fuck yeah. I'm 100%. I didn't even think of Pantera. I didn't even like register that Pantera would have been on this list in my mind. But I absolutely agree. Pantera should be in the top 5. They are so amazing. The 90s and 2000s material is so good. And I'm really glad I got to see half of Pantera live with Zakk Wylde and Charlie Benante. I thought it was an amazing show. It was a really great tribute to the brothers. And Vulgar Display Power is one of my favorite albums ever made, so I'm cool with it. 3, Iron Maiden. Okay. I kind of figured Iron Maiden would take the 3 spot. Let's just see who the top 2 are. Black Sabbath is number 2. Okay. I was fully expecting them to be number 1. So number 1 has to be, yeah, I would say. Okay, yeah, that's obvious. Number 1 had to have been Metallica. I'm fine with Metallica being on a number 1 spot. I'm actually kind of glad that Metallica is number 1 and not Black Sabbath, because I kind of figured that Black Sabbath would have been the number 1 just because they were like the first to do that super duper heavy like rock sound that obviously turned into metal later on. But yeah, I mean, they're an amazing band, but I'm glad that Metallica is number 1, because I feel like they deserved it, especially for when you got albums like Master of Puppets, Ride the Lightning, Justice for All, the Black Album, obviously. And I even think that the new Metallica stuff is really awesome, like Death Magnetic, Hardwired, 72 Seasons. I think those 3 albums are really good. And, I think there's even some bangers on Saint Anger, personally. But, yeah. Okay, that is... Actually, let's do the frequently asked questions. Who are the greatest female metal singers? Off the top of my list, I would say, going with modern singers first, I would say like Courtney LaPlante, Tatiana Schmiluk from Ginger. I probably completely butchered her last name. That's all right. Is Poppy a metal singer? I don't know. I don't think she would really be on the list, though. If we're including more rock vocalists, I'd also add like Lizzie Hale. But and of course, if you want to go like real classic, you could go like Lita Ford or like Dora Pesh. Yeah, I'll say Lita Ford is the first one. Oh, Nightwish, Arch Enemy. Yeah, those are all good. Spirit Box, Poppy, and Jin. Literally the 3 bands I mentioned. That's funny. What are great black metal bands? That's a very short list. But, okay, Venom, Celtic Frost, Bathory, Merciful Fate, Mayhem, Darkthrone should be one word, but that's okay. We're not going to go full pronunciation police on them. Bathory. Yeah, Behemoth, okay. What are great metalcore bands? Trivium's not on the list. Immediately dropped the ball there. That didn't even register in my head that Trivium wasn't on the list. Though, okay, they are mentioned here with Killswitch and As I Lay Dying. Okay. We're good. We're good, fellas. Pack it in. Hatebreed, Converge. No Bullet for My Valentine. I feel like Bullet for My Valentine, it gets like super duper underrated when talking about like iconic metal bands and albums. What are great new metal bands? Limp Bizkit, Korn, Deftones, Slipknot, even early Linkin Park. Fair enough. If you want good new metal bands, like good modern new metal bands, I would say Tala is amazing. From Ashes to New is awesome. They definitely are very inspired by Linkin Park, so I recommend them. There's probably a ton of others that I'm completely blanking on, but yeah. Okay, this was a good article. This was a good read. I like it. I like the article. So, yeah, Metallica #1. I'm cool with that. Like I said, don't do a drinking game with how many times I say I'm cool with that, because you will not be okay. But with that being said, I'll keep this a relatively short one. I won't yap too much. So thanks for going through this article with me. If you made it to the end of this video, I appreciate you. I'll see you in the next one, whenever that might be, because I don't have a schedule. And yep, see ya.